Hi everyone, welcome to PowerShell for Penetration Testers at Pentester Academy. In this video, let's have a look at porting exploits to PowerShell or writing exploits in PowerShell. So, why would we like to do this? There are so many reasons, but couple of reasons which are really compelling, at least for me, is imagine a scenario during a penetration test or a red teaming exercise where we are stuck on a Windows machine or we are pivoting through a Windows machine. Having the capability to port at least the simple exploits to PowerShell could come really handy in such a case. Though we can always forward ports or create network relays, but it never hurts to have an additional tool in the tool chest of a penetration test or a red teamer. Also, the second and even the more compelling reason is it is fun. It is fun to port exploits in PowerShell. It not only increases the understanding of the exploits, but also of the language in which we write it. And in this case, it would be PowerShell. When do we do it? Whenever, though we can use it always, but whenever we have a command execution, especially a command execution on a Windows machine. In such a case, we must try to use PowerShell for writing exploits. How do we do it? This is nothing really special. PowerShell is just a scripting language like Python or Ruby or Perl. And when we can write exploits in these scripting languages, we can write them in PowerShell as well. Though PowerShell may lack somewhere or may gain somewhere if compared directly to these languages, but generally it is possible to write exploits in PowerShell. Let's have a look at two of the examples, the infamous shell shock vulnerability and a 0 day from full disclosure. So the shell shock one we will see in the next video. In this video, let's have a look at a 0 day which was disclosed on full disclosure. It is a really easy and simple vulnerability. It is in the PHP MoAdmin. It is a PHP frontend just like PHP MyAdmin, but for MongoDB. So the vulnerability is this, that if we send a post request to the moadmin.php file and the parameters are something like this, the commands specified in the parameter are executed. That is it. So this is the exploit. Very simple, even close to being lame, but the simpler the exploit, the better it is for us as attackers. So since we need to send a post request, I have copied this post HTTP function from one of these scripts in Nishang. Originally it was, I copied it from I think PowerShell.com or some PowerShell website. We are using COM object of this application. We can always use net.webrequest.net class as well. But let's just use this right now. So as per this FT post, we need to send these parameters to this URL. I have MoAdmin set up on one of my virtual machines in the lab. So let's just copy the URL. We are making a call to the function here. So this is the URL we want to use, and let's use these as parameters, and let's save this as invoke mo admin exploit. And now if I run this, I get easy command execution. This is the output of ID and this is of ls. So this way we can easily execute commands on this machine. Note that this is really simple and we can do fun stuff with this. For example, though it depends on your taste, but many people like to stay in an interactive shell so that it looks cool. So we can enclose it inside a while loop, and read the command from the host. And here we can simply pass the command variable. So now if we try it, while we are at it, let's write it in a better way. Leave it. Otherwise, we can just try a function and accept CMD as a parameter, but let's just leave it for now. Ask us to enter command. Let's enter ID, gets executed. Let's exit it, and while we are at it, okay, so we can always create a prompt here. For example, let's just call it mo admin exploit and things like that. So these are just fancy things. Etc. So this way we can write very simple exploits with the help of PowerShell. Also, to practice this or to do more stuff, we can always write exploits whenever someone discloses a bug or an exploit on full disclosure. Especially watch out for command injection bugs in content management systems, web management consoles, etc., or even SQL injection ones, because those are comparatively easier to write and could be really handy in a target environment. For example, at least in my penetration test and red teaming exercises, most of the times the foothold system or the lateral propagation is done with the help of an poorly configured or outdated or a vulnerable web management console of any kind. So keep an eye on those, and if you want to practice, keep trying them. So that is all for this video. Hope you enjoyed attacking a Linux machine from a Windows machine. If you are enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, please recommend us to your friends and colleagues in the information security community.